Good morning, everybody. We are in the shop and we are starting a new project today. I am making my wife this big plant stand for our kitchen. We got a 3-bay window in there, and she has some plants in front of it. We have a couple of random plant stands, but we're gonna make one big solid thing that goes all the way across. So there's 3 windows. These supports on the ends these 2 will fall in between the 2 windows, and these will fall on either end of the window. And this is pretty much it right here. So what did we figure the whole thing is? 99, so 100 inches basically all the way across. We've got 33-ish size shelves. We got 33s here, 32.5s here. And then what do we got? So this would be one shelf down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shelves plus the whole top. So I have some ideas about this. I bought a bunch of round bar. You can see right here I got notes for different sizes of round bar. You guys are just going to kind of see how this goes as we go along. But what I'm going to do is on the ends of this, I'm going to forge out a bunch of leaves, and I'm going to make the ends look like sticks and leaves and stuff. So that's kind of the special thing that I'm going to do with this. So we're going to have to do some forge work in the forge, which you guys haven't seen in a long time. We're going to do, we're going to have to make all of these shelves individually. So that's actually, oh, what did I say? So 13. So we're going to have to make 13 of these individual shelves. Like I said, some of them are going to be 33 and some of them are going to be 32. So that kind of screws that up a little bit. But I think I'm going to make some sort of fixture on the table to make those. But today I think I just want to, I'm trying to think, do I want to start and just make all the shelves and then go into the forging? Or do I want to start forging now and make all the shelves later? I think the smart thing to do is to make the shelves, and then the material that's left over I can forge all the leaves with. So I think that's where we're going to start. We're going to, I've got to confirm all these measurements 100% within the house, and then we basically got to bring material over and start chopping up sizes and probably make some sort of fixture on here. So that all the shelves turn out the same, except for the ones in the middle. Obviously they're going to be slightly wider, so I need to make sure, I'm going to confirm all these, and then we'll start cutting material, and we'll probably make the first one and then make a fixture off of that. Alright guys, so I did want to show you what we got to start with. So this is our 3-bay window here, and you can see all the random plants that we got here. So basically what I was showing you guys is this thing is going to go all the way across here, and I'm just making sure, doing my math, so that our support pieces basically land in the middle here and in the middle here, basically making everything completely symmetrical with the window. So that's the plan. So here's the before, and then we'll see what it looks like once we get this plant stand in here. Alright guys, so now we have the components to start making shelves. I'm a bit short on this 3/8 material, so I don't have enough to make all of the shelves, but we're going to make the ones in the middle right now, the ones that are slightly longer. And I'm going to make a fixture. So I'm going to use just pieces of scrap steel that I got laying around, and I'm going to clamp them or weld them and put them in place so that I basically slip the things in here and they all come out the same. So that's what we're doing. Alright guys, that's the first one done. We got 13 total, so we got 1 down, 12 more to go. That's fully welded. This piece here, I knew it was going to be kind of weird, so what I did was I put it in, I just put a little tiny bend on the ends over here, and that came up because it was going to lay like too far down. So, but I really like the way that turned out. It looks cool. Here's the underside. This is the side. This part is what we're looking at being flat, the part that's on the table right now. So this actually does protrude a little bit down below, but it's a necessary support, and it seemed like it was the best way to do it. So 1 down, 12 more to go. Alright, so I just spent a bunch of time cutting and cleaning and prepping stuff. There are 4 of these middle shelves. These are the wider ones. And my goal is to get those done tonight, and I've got all the pieces ready for that finally. Oh, I cut something wrong. One of these got cut wrong. Anyways, so apparently I'm 1 short here because I think I cut this one too short. Anyway, so this is all the stuff to do all 4 shelves. Well, this one too. This I already got 1 done. And these are actually all the short sides for all 13 shelves. So my goal is tonight, before I go in, to get all 4 of these shelves fully welded, and we got all the parts to do that except for that one, which I don't know how that happened. Alright, there's my 4th one right there. So we got four shelves now, and I think that's going to be it for tonight. I need to adjust this for my next shelf that we're working on, the next shelves, which are, so we're going from 32 5/8 to 31 1/2, so it's not much, but I need to adjust those and get this thing all set up for that. I think I'm just going to scooch one side in, and then I'll remark the center, because I marked this, I marked my fixture over here for the center for putting that this little piece right in there. So I'll have to remark that. We'll move those over there in, and we'll have ourselves a fixture for the slightly narrower shelves. All right, you guys, we're back at it. Sorry, my hair is crazy. So I changed my mind on the legs of this thing, and we're just going to go with regular round bar. We're using the 5/8 round bar, and we're going to use half inch as the spacers here. So I'm going to put one at the top, and one at the bottom. And what's going to happen is I'm going to build the branch work and the leaf work in between here, basically. But I'm going to establish our legs, or whatever you want to call these things, with the regular round bar. So that's the plan. That's what I'm working on. Making a fixture here, kind of like I did with the shelves, and we're going to get to it. Alright guys, we are done with our legs. You can see all 4 of them there, and then all of our shelves, 13 in total. We got 4 of the middle ones and 9 of the side ones. So we're making progress here. I gotta go pick up my son soon, so I don't think we're gonna make too much more progress in this. So we'll probably fire up the forge and maybe make some leaves. I'm going to show you guys making a leaf one of these days. I got a ton of them to make. Oh, I wonder what that's from. But I've made, I think I got 5 in the house, and there's 3 more or 4 more. I got to make some different size ones. Like I'm trying to make some small ones now. I'm going to make some bigger ones. But I'll show you guys how I do that once I get a better handle on it. Actually, I mean, I'm pretty close right now. I guess I could show you, but we'll get to that for sure. And we'll be putting this thing together pretty soon. I think the next thing, I don't want to do it right now, but next day I come out here and work on this, I think we'll actually be welding the shelving unit together, and then all of the decorative stuff will basically be added on after it's welded together. Good morning guys, we are back at it, and today we are going to actually start assembling these shelves. So I gotta get these things on the table and somehow get a fixture going and get them clamped together, and we'll be putting these shelving units together today. Alright guys, we're making some progress here. This one is just tacked together at this point. Still needs to be finish welded. This one is finish welded on one side and not on the other, because you saw that I had to cut. I ended up cutting this side off and flipping it, because what was happening was I had a ton of wobble in it, and now I've just got almost no wobble basically. But what happened was when I did this one, I figured out the issue. The legs are slightly different, you know, my fixture, and then if I put them the wrong way, you know, you'd have 2 short sides across from each other, and then it would be wobbly. And we're talking like 1/8 of an inch, but you know, 2/8 of an inch is a quarter. So by the time you put that on there wrong, it had a 1/4 inch of rock or more even. So when I did this one, I learned some stuff about how to make sure everything was square, because I was also doing, like, I had the square. Oh, this is upside down, by the way. I was marking the bottom. We're going to end up putting these, where are they? Little adjustable feet in them. So this one, I just learned more about how to make sure it was square. Like, I was using the square on here, and then it wasn't right because this tube is just slightly has a slight bow to it. So I ended up putting, you know, that level all the way across it, and that gave me a true square. So, you know, I learned a couple things when I was doing this, and it's turning out really good, though. Let me flip that one over for you, and I want to show you guys just how big this thing is going to be. I think I got to spread them apart a little bit more than that. Alright, so we got 4 shelves that are going to go in here. It's going to be one on the bottom, and there's going to be like a really big shelf, and then up from there. Okay, so we're a little bit wider. So right about like that. So that's a pretty big shelving unit. Pretty massive. So I'm not going to put these middle shelves in until I'm done with the vine and leaf work, because there's going to be some in here in between these. And then there's going to be ones on the end. Probably a little bit more on the ends and not quite as much in the in-between, but that's the plan. The other thing, so I showed you the feet. The feet for the bottom, there's these little stainless guys. All I gotta do is drill and tap the bottom. For those, for the top, I have these 1-inch ball bearings. We'll put this one back on the table. This one's just tacked together. We'll get it all finished welded out. That one's gonna take the longest, and then I can come back to this one. And this one's got a lot less, well, half as much welding to do on it. So, wish me luck. Alright guys, I got the forge running in the background, so it's a little loud. But here we are. These are not welded on yet, but this is the concept. And I wanted to show you guys what I did. So, I'm going to flip one of these over. I came out late last night and I got the feet put on, which required me to drill and tap all of these legs. So there you go, just like that. So we got the feet on here. I actually need to take them off now. And next, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put this on the bench, and we're going to put those balls underneath the ends and then weld them on. Started with a 1/4-inch bit, and I drilled it a little bit, and then I went after it with a 1/2-inch bit, and it made this little recess so that the ball sits down and it makes nice contact around there, and it doesn't look like it's just hanging out, you know, because if it was just flat, it would be like that, and then I'd have to fill this gap all the way around here. This is easier to fill that gap, and it's cleaner looking for sure. So we're gonna get after it. Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I'm doing these leaves. Let me show you what I got so far. So I made this gate at the last house for my wife for her garden, and I put 50 of these leaves on here. So this is what I got so far. I haven't counted them, there's like 12 maybe not even that. But so I've gotten back into the swing of making them. They're not, I mean, I'm no expert blacksmith. I do this stuff every once in a while, so it's, you know, I'm not that great at it. So, but I'm going to show you how I do this. So I got a piece of 3/8 square stock. You can use round stock, turn it into square. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put a taper on the end of this. And the longer my taper is, the longer the end of the will be, or more drawn out. So I've been kind of playing with different angles on the taper of this. So, need some more heat. And then at the same time, I'm working on making the branches that are going to go on the sides. And this is, I think this is 5/16 round bar. Alright, I gotta let this cool, and actually, or I can just cool this. I gotta put this other side in there. Well, no, I need to let it cool a little more than that. So I'm gonna stick this outside while I do this leaf. Alright, so we got some more heat in there. Hopefully we can finish our taper. Now I like to get this end pretty pointy, like pretty sharp. Because if you have like a screwed up or like a flat end, the end of your leaf is going to look that way. So there's my taper. Let's go back in for some heat. Alright, so then you take it and you decide, you know, how much you're going to stick off. And that's kind of just trial and error. So I'm going to make a little bit of a longer leaf this time. At least that's the idea. And you have to basically make these shoulders in it. So you can see what we got so far. That's a start. Now I can do 2 of these at once. It kind of is a little hectic, but you can do 2 of these at once and just basically pull one out, work on it, put it in, pull the other one out, work on it, and it works pretty good. And that's probably what I'll start doing, but I'm going to show you guys this on just the single one that I got here. Alright, so I want to work these. Work this in a little bit more. Alright, so now you can see we're neck down pretty good there. I'm going to get a little more heat in there. And then we're going to make the stem of the leaf. So that little cube thing on the front with the taper, that's the actual leaf. And then we're going to make the stem here. Alright, so you go to the other side of the anvil and you do the opposite of what you did over there. Or at least so you have that cube up and you turn it the other way. Over here, you're turning it going this way, and then on this side you got to do the opposite. I'm going to make a little bit longer stem on this one. Got a little cold, talking too much. So let's set these real good and then I'll show you. So now you can see we did the same thing as up top, but we did it on the opposite sides of the bar. We got some good color in this. Let's draw that. Basically, we're going to draw the stem out. Alright, so we're going to keep working on this stem until I get it to a point where I like the thickness of it. And then we'll make it round. It's much easier to work things into squares. Than trying to make something round and draw it out. Alright, so we got this guy. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the end into a square. At least square-ish. We're starting to get there on our stem. Definitely need a little bit more thinning out though. So basically you just keep drawing it out until you like the thickness of it. I'm not going to get too detailed into this because if you're interested in blacksmithing, there's other channels for sure to watch that teach you how to blacksmith. I am a beginner myself, so. Alright, we got this guy. It's pretty close. Do a little bit more work on it. Alright, we got this nice and hot. Let's go ahead and start our taper. One more on that taper, and we'll be good with that. Alright, so now I got this where I like it. I'm going to turn it round. So basically, we're just going to work those square corners out a bit. Should be able to finish this taper off here. This one's got a long taper, so see what that does for our leaf. It's pretty sharp. Let me show you guys. So there's our taper. A little bit long on the taper. See how that turns out. Okay. So you kind of got to go back and forth from one side of the anvil to the other to get everything. Alright, one more heat and we'll be done with our stem. So same thing as the other one. We got to set, we got to pick our amount of material and go ahead and make our ears on here. Get them established. If you go in and you set these ears and try to do this taper and you've barely got them set, it's going to be harder on the next cycle to get them back in the same spot, and it kind of messes it up. So get this guy. Let's do a little more work on this stem. And then you're ready to do the leaf. Here we go. Let's get those in there real good now. It's pretty good. You also don't want to go too far. I have done it where I've gone too far, and then it's just a spindly little stem, and it doesn't want to. Then it will. The leaf will end up breaking off of there. All right, so I got 15 leaves so far. I want to do probably 50, so I got probably a day's worth of leaves to do. All right, so here's what we got. We got our stem. We got this cube on the end. We are going to take this cube and hammer it flat. Alright, I let this sit for too long. I hesitated. Alright, get that back in there. Let that one warm up. Now we'll do the opposite taper on this one. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's hammer this flat. Well, sometimes if the back side of your little piece is weird, it's going to hammer out weird. This is one of those things that just takes a ton of repetition to get good at, and I just don't do it often enough, so I struggle. Alright, really, I'm going to use the rounded end of the hammer now. I'm going to try and just move the metal with my hammer strikes to where it looks good. Sometimes you'll hammer it flat and it'll turn out great, and other times you kind of got to work it. This hammer that I use, this is the hammer that I like. It's a rounding hammer. And this side has a nice roundness to it, and this side is flat. So it has kind of two different purposes. So there's where we're at with that one so far. And this one. this is what we got going so far, and I'm basically just coming at it with the hammer and trying to work it so that it looks even from side to side as much as possible. Okay, one more. I'll let this guy. I think the forge is running low on propane, so kind of slowing down. But still working. Okay, so far, I'm going to do one more heat on that stem, and then we'll make our leaf. Now this one, I have to decide when I'm going to give up. Well, not give up, but say it's good enough. The problem is, sometimes you just work it to death, and you just make it worse. So, I think that's it for that one. I'm going to go ahead and get it heated up, and then we're going to do our veining on the leaf. Alright, so this thing's already got a curve going on it, but I kind of like to leave that because it, I don't know, it looks more natural to have a little bend in it. Alright, let's start drawing this guy out, this leaf. Alright, time for veining. Basically just do that with a chisel. Now one of the problems I do run into is that I go a little too crazy with the chisel and end up cutting through my leaf. So I gotta make sure not to do that. And you won't know it really until you heat it up again, and then it just wants to split apart. Okay, so there's the center vein of our leaf. We're going to give it some more heat and do the rest of the veining. Oh, we're running out. We are running out of propane. Alright, see if this thing lights back up. It should. There we go. That sounds strong. Now we're going to be working faster. Oh yeah, holy moly. We are heating up way better here. Okay. Now, we gotta do our veining. I've been trying to figure out a good... I'm trying to perfect this, but it's hard. They do make tools, like a stamp. So you can make a leaf and then you have like this stamp and you hammer the stamp into it and then bam. You got a leaf. Now I already don't like my angle on this one. I'm already not happy with it. But let's just finish it and maybe we'll do better on the next one. Alright, so that's what we got so far. So we're going to heat this back up and we're going to give it a little shake. And this is already super hot. So, make sure we're good on our final shape here. Oh yeah, and this one is already super hot. Okay, that's working a lot faster. Okay, so I take it down here. I got these little, they're basically like little divots in my block. And then I put the leaf in there and hammer it. And that gives it a little bit more shape. So now it's got like a little bit of a cup shape. I think that looks pretty good. So, put that back in there. This is already plenty hot. This thing's working a lot better. I could probably go down to doing one at a time. That back in there. Pull this one out. Man, I need to turn that regulator down. Okay. So now, this is how I cut it off. There you go, we're gonna let that cool. It's hot enough. Alright, so we got our center vane. Turned out alright. So far. Heat this up, give it some shape. Yeah, it doesn't take long with the get some good propane in there. Alright, there's that one. Heat it up and cut it off. Alright, I'll show you what those two look like when they cool off. Alright guys, these are the two that I just made right here. So you can see it's a pretty big size difference in the two, but this was the smaller round bar, I think, yeah, and this was the square bar. I'm not 100% sure, but two more leaves, add them to the pile, and we'll keep making more. Alright guys, that is one side done. Whew. So I ended up using 17 leaves on here. I've got like 9 left, so I got some more to make. I'm not sure. So this is one end. This is the far end on this side. And then this one will be the far end. This will be the one that people see the most. So I wanted to get that one, get some practice in and see what kind of things that I want, you know, pieces I want to make to make something like this. It's not going to be a duplicate. Each one's going to be separate. In between here, I was going to put something, some of this, but the leaves are only one-sided. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do in there. I might just put, I think I'm going to do, I don't know. I got to think about it. But one of my ideas is to do something a little bit simpler. I'm not sure what that means yet. So just, we'll see what happens here. I'm not sure what I'm doing. But this one's done. So now I got to work on the other one on that end. And I don't have a ton to do it with yet. So I got to make more pieces. But I got these guys here. And then I've got this one big piece. So this is like the main stock that you see that goes from that corner down to that corner. So I got that piece made. So we'll at least get that in there tonight. And then we'll fire up the forge and start making more branches, more leaves, a lot more stuff. So yeah, I'm going to get back to it. Alright everybody, it's been a couple days. We're back in the shop. I've been in here a couple hours one day, a couple hours another day, and this morning. And I've got 24 leaves here to work with and some more branch work. And then I've got this one here. That's one of my big ones, like this main branch. So I'm going to do all 4 sides of these, which these 2 are going to be on the inside. They're all going to have branch work and leaves. So I still am going to end up having to make more leaves. On that one I ended up with 17. I've got 3 on here right now, and I've got 24 to go. So I probably won't use all of these on here. So I'll have some to put on that side, but guaranteed I'm going to be making more leaves and some more branches. But I've got some stuff to work with. Hopefully I can get this side done and start working on that side before I got to go today. I've already been out here for a few hours working on all this. So let's get to it. Let's finish building this one right here. Alright, so we are at the point where I'm putting the whole thing actually together. And this is exactly how it's going to look. It's a little over 8 feet long. And I spent some time with the levels, getting everything level, getting the 2 level to each other. You can tell, I can tell because of the way the adjusters are, that the floor is sloping this way. So, but I got the whole things, each one level, and I got them level to each other, and I got that bottom shelf level, so we're ready to tack this thing together and finish this thing up. It's ridiculous.
That's a little...
I don't know if you have enough plants.
Oh, got plants. I got options, man.
This is the side you're gonna see though. So like I put all the leaves facing this way except for the ones on the end, on the other end.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice little touch.
Yeah. Think it'll do?
It's a little bit bigger than... Now that I'm seeing it, it's really big.
It's huge.
Can I lift it?
Oh yeah.
Lift it. It's kind of heavy.
It's a little heavy, but it's not like crazy. Movable. Yeah. It's big. Good.
It's good. It's good. Alright, so what's the next step? Getting it powder coated?
Yeah, called the powder coater in the morning. Now I got pictures of it. Sent them dimensions. Pictures and dimensions. Should be able to get a price quotable for it.
It's quite...
I haven't counted leaves. I've been wondering how many leaves there are.
Don't really know. Or you got the feet on it and everything, huh?
Yeah, I had to level everything out. So this one has the most, I think. So it's 24.
Or just put on your calculator on your phone.
72.
72 handcrafted leaves.
72 leaves. Yep. And I made more. I threw away like... I think I threw away like 6 more that didn't come out right. Flaws, reader flaws. And then I got 4 left over. So I made like over 80. Alright everybody, it's the next day. It was later last night when I got that done. So here it is. It's fully finished welding and put together, and it is ready to go to the powder coat. Ooh, which reminds me, I need to call them right now and figure that out. Man, this thing came down to the wire. I literally was out of everything. I burned through... This wasn't full. I don't know how much was in there, but both of those were full. So we burned through both of those. Whatever was left of this. We burned through whatever was left of my big argon tank and this secondary argon tank, which I don't know how much was in that either. So we burned a bunch of argon. We burned a bunch of propane. We burned through a few or a couple of tungsten rods. We burned through just a ton of stuff, ton of supplies. And metal obviously and all that. So I'm super happy to have this done. I got to call the powder coater and get this thing in to be powder coated, and then that's where we're going to finish the video, is when we actually get it back and put it in the kitchen. I don't want to finish this video with without a finale for it. So that might be, I don't know how long it's going to be at this point, so we'll see then. But I wanted to update you guys and let you know that it's coming. So I will see you guys when this thing gets back from the powder coat. Me and Johnny are on our way to pick up Jessica's birthday present, the plant stand, from the powder coaters. They said it was going to be done next week. I dropped it off on Tuesday. It's now Friday, and they said, called me this morning or messaged me this morning, and it's done. So we're going to get it. All right, we got it back there, and we are headed home. All right, we're home. And it looks great. I got to get the feet back in it, and I'm worried that there might be powder coat in there, so I'm going to have to, hopefully those just thread in, but I might have to throw a tap through there. I'll show you guys it next once we get it in the house. Alright guys, here it is in the kitchen. It's looking pretty good. We got all the leaves on it facing this way, except for this very last one. They're faced this way, and in hindsight I probably would have flipped them so you can see them all from this way, but that's not a big deal. It fits perfectly. I did my measurements correctly. Really digging it. I'll show you guys. She's got some grow lights that are going to go on here in certain spots. But we are super happy with it. She's got to get all of her plants on it, and I'll show you a picture of that when that happens. But I hope you guys like this project. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button for me. Hit the subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to get notified. Please drop a comment below. That really helps out the algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.